Hey y'all, this is my Bible breakdown in the book of Matthew, part 2, chapters 5 through 7. So in chapter 5, Jesus begins to teach his disciples. He teaches them that blessings are more spiritual than physical. Then he teaches them that they're the light of the world and that all their good deeds should glorify their Father in heaven, right? He teaches about murder. He teaches about adultery. He teaches about a lot of things. So basically in chapters 5 through 7, Jesus is just breaking down to his disciples the way of living in Jesus Christ's name. And he went in depth pertaining the way disciples should live and how they should live in Jesus Christ's name. Okay, y'all. So in Matthew chapter 6, Jesus tells us the prayer that we should pray, which is our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. In Jesus Christ's name, then Jesus begins to talk about fasting. Fasting, he lets us know, do not be like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces to show others they're fasting, right? But he tells us to put oil on our head and wash our face so that nobody knows that we're fasting in Jesus Christ's name. And he lets us know that what is done in secret will be rewarded. Hallelujah. He reminds us as well to not store up treasures in heaven, in Jesus, on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, where thieves break in and steal. Hallelujah. He lets us know in that same part, no one can serve two masters. Either you will hate one or love the other. Hallelujah. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money, is what he tells us in Jesus Christ. Then Jesus goes to talking about do not worry. He tells us in Matthew chapter 6, verse 25, therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear, in Jesus Christ's name. So he basically gets into depth and asks us, can any one of us, by worrying, add a single hour to our life? And then in Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, it tells us, but first seek his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. So God basically broke down these ways of living to his disciples in Jesus Christ's name. Then he goes in chapter 7 about judging others. He tells us, asking, seeking, and knocking. Hallelujah. Asking, it will be given to you. Seeking, you will find. Knock, and the door will be open for you. So Jesus broke all these things down. Hallelujah. Just so that his disciples could understand him in Jesus Christ's name. And last but not least, in Matthew chapter 7, verse 28, when Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were... So, Jesus even breaks down true and false disciples, right? He tells his disciples, many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name? In your name drive out demons, in your name perform many miracles. Therefore I will tell them plainly, I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers. In Jesus Christ's name. He went into depth about true and false prophets. Hallelujah. Letting us know, likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into a fire. Thus by your fruit you will recognize them. Hallelujah. So in the end, in verse 28, it says, when Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowd were amazed at his teaching, because he taught as one who had authority and not as their teacher of the law. So that is the end of my Bible breakdown of chapters 5 through 7 in Jesus.